Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. We are Millennial Mom. If you don't know who is who, I'm Millennial. This is Mom.
Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, I'm Mom or Kay from Millennial Mom. And today we're going to talk about 90 Day Fiancé The Other Way, season 4, episode 8. Let's see. For every joy, there's a price to be paid. Honestly, the whole season, there's a price to be paid with all the couples, even the couple who seems to be doing fairly well, but we'll see really how well they're going to be doing next week when the family gets involved. So again, I'm Mom from Millennial Mom. Welcome to our channel. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. If you haven't already joined the family, don't forget to like the video and leave your comments in the description box on this side, or you can join online as soon as I drop the link and talk about the show. So how's everybody doing today? Let's see. We have Sharon. Hello, Sharon. And we have Rory. Hi, Rory. And hello to everyone that's watching in the bushes. Hello to you all too. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. Hopefully everyone is doing well. And hopefully everyone got a chance to watch the show. If not, you're just here for the review. That's okay too. But if you did watch the show, who are we most concerned with now? Are we most concerned with Jen having to, give up her visa that she didn't read? Are we concerned with Nicole and she's still not sure about what the cultural norms are, what she signed up for by converting to be Muslim, to study Islamic religion or the culture, whatever? Or are we concerned with Gabe that's finally getting to talk to Isabelle's parents, who I knew they would leave a cliffhanger till next week's episode? Hopefully we will see what they say next week. Or are we more concerned with Debbie being starry-eyed? And is it just me? Or does Debbie seem like she's stuck like in the Woodstock phase? You know what I'm saying? Like live free and the hippie generation. Is it just me? Because that's what she's giving. Yeah, she's giving the gypsy, free spirit, traveling lifestyle too, but she's just so out there like that, but in a good way though. At the same time, she's come across naive to be in her particular age group. Like, are you still really that naive pushing 70? And hey, if you are 70, that's okay. But still, she's given like star-crossed teenager vibe, right? Or are we more concerned with Jeymi and Kris, where it seems like Jeymi's family doesn't know about her particular situation when it comes to her sexuality. So she's really living in a lifestyle where, she's living free, but she's living a double life in a way, So, it's a toss-up of who I have concerns with the most, This, or, you know what? I forgot about them too. Or is it Danielle and Johan, who is still just like in La La Land of her own, that's like, okay, I left New York, I'm giving up my teaching job, so just let me go to New York, to the DR, to live with my husband, who I've only known for 4 months, but yet seem like we argue every time I'm around, but it'll be okay. Like, who are we most, concerned with? I know we're invested in Nicole the most, but who are we most concerned about? So let's read some comments. Hello, Jazz from the Jazz and Show, or Vince, or both. Nicole in my mood. Okay. Sharon, you say Nicole, her situation is getting crazy. Nicole's situation was crazy even before we knew who Nicole was, or is that just my opinion? Let's see. Jazz and Show, you say Debbie definitely smoked some good weed back in the day. I don't think it's just back in the day. Hopefully she didn't take none over, because with recent news with different celebrities having substances that's okay here, there. So maybe she's got something. Maybe she mixes up some concoction in her perfume bottles, because Debbie just seemed like she just always like that, So, what was the campaign back then? Just say no. Anyways, Rory, you say, I can't stand that couple, and Nicole's going to put herself in a bad situation. Nicole is already in a bad situation. Already. So Charity said jazz, good weed. Yeah, okay. Right. So before I drop the link, I'm gonna just do a little bit of an overview, and then I'll drop the link for if anyone wants to join on with me too, or just in the comments or whatever. So last night's episode, you know what? I was surprised that Jen was the first to go home. I really thought it would be Nicole, but like I said in the beginning, she didn't read her visa where it was like 30 days. I'm like, how? Like who talked you into getting a 30-day visa, and how much money did they talk you out of? That sounds like a scam. Is it just me? But it came across as a scam. Like, I didn't read it, but let me go to these lawyers and see what they have to say. Maybe they could show me a loophole. Those lawyers were not on your side, and they didn't give two rats. You know what I'm saying? Again, just my opinion, right? So she got to see Rishi before she had to head back home. I'm surprised he didn't stay over the night. We saw him on his motorcycle come to pick her up. Well, not even pick her up, just to say goodbye and send her Uber to the airport, and I'm thinking, like, you didn't stay the night at least, on her last day in the 12th hour, you didn't stay, but whatever. Now, of course, she was happy to see him. She was a little disappointed because she had to go home, but Rishi was like, wait, before you get in the car, let me give you this. So he gave her a ring. Okay. I'm like, the ring, no shade. Okay. Cause I'm not married anymore, but the ring was giving off costume jewelry-ish, but hey, it's the thought that counts, right? So Jen was like, oh my gosh, you have proposed to me? Yes, of course, yes. I think it was a ploy. I think it was a ploy just to keep her coming back and we still might get together. Because if you didn't tell your family about Jen yet, and but she knows about your the arrangements and traditions in India, why would you think to give her the ring? Again, a double-edged sword to keep her sticking around. But Jen, you know what? She said that this is her second ring. Like, she's going to keep this one, not lose it. I'm thinking, wow, you got another ring? So yeah. Anyway, so she leaves, she gets back home, and her sister-in-law picks her up. And you know what? Her sister-in-law is much more easygoing than her brother. The sister-in-law is like, so what happened? So, when Jen told her the story, and then she learned that Jen and Rishi didn't have intimacy while they were there, she's like, well, it's better if we're married, and it gives the backgrounds of why they're not married. And so the sister-in-law was like, what? Kind of like, you went over there and did nothing happen, And so, anyways, when Jen finally gets home, the look on her brother's face was priceless. That's who's the person I was looking for in the first place. He just looked at her like, like, I knew you'd be back. I told the people you was coming back. This was short-lived. So the brother clearly knows his sister. Sometimes, even though people have difference of opinions, we may view that as hating. The brother weren't hating. The brother was dropping gems. You know what I'm saying? He knows his sister, but, Jen was trying to say that, she's going back and this just temporarily, till she gets stuff fixed up. And, she did say to everyone, including her mother that was there, that, she was going to go back and get married. And they just, again, didn't know why she didn't get married in the first place. But then her mom tried to say that, well, the traditions in India are strong. So you got to make sure this is what you want and you're the right one for him. So let me read some comments. Jasmine Shelley say, Nicole is in a dangerous situation. Mahmoud actually looked angry and grabbed her up. Okay, we're going to talk about that shortly. Yeah, because, Okay, Sharon say, Jenna's not so smart. Nope. You also say he can't stay away from his family. They control him. Correct. And you say, keep her around. Why didn't he sleep with her? I don't think she's got any money. I don't know. She don't seem like she's got a lot of common sense. So let's move to Jeymi and Kris. So I guess Kris is feeling better, right? Because, she was feeling better in the thought that she got up to go glamping. But I'm thinking wow, Kris really looks bad to me. I guess you don't have to have on no makeup or nothing because she was just in the bed since she got there 5 days prior. But Kris is just all broke up. But she's determined to go on this glamping trip and re-propose. I guess this was the re-propose episode to Kris. So I thought it was funny when Kris brought up the whiplash thing. so that she could ride in the car. I'm like, that's bad when you got to ride with a whiplash thing and you just, what I'm saying? Girl, get the surgery. Help yourself out. Well, anyways, when they got up to the cabin or to the glamping place, it looked like it was in like in a mountainous region. And I'm thinking, Lord, Kris, don't slip. I mean, you just barely got out of bed and barely, right? So, it was a surprise to Jeymi. Kris set it up, had the people help her before they got there with the roses and the balloons. And then Kris did some little extra stuff. And then again, when she did re-propose to Jeymi and she got down on one knee, I'm like, oh my goodness. Is she going to ask for help up? But she didn't. So I guess it's A-okay. But as they were having dinner later, Jeymi dropped a bomb of her own. That, when they talk about who's going to come to the wedding, and Jeymi said that her family don't even know that she is lesbian. I'm like, huh? So, I mean, I understand people whose parents or family member, whoever, friends may not know that they're out, but I mean, she's living in a full-fledged lesbian relationship and they don't know. Like, where do they think you are? Who do they think you're with? So, so that's going to be something coming up too. So this whole time we're thinking that Jeymi was worried that Kris is going to go back, but she's got other things to be worried about as well, about her family, the wedding, and who knows who could say what to whoever. That sounds like it's going to be issue too, along with the health issues that Kris got going on, and no telling what else is under the surface. Because I do believe there's something else going on with Kris as well. I think we'll see that when we get back. Let me read a few comments. Let's see. Sharon say, oh, wait. Sorry, Sharon. I read that already. Jasmine, she say, I'm not seeing the love in Jeymi and Kris relationship. It's like we're missing something on camera. Definitely 1,000% agree. Definitely missing something. I think whatever we're missing is in either Texas with the other relationship that Jeymi had when Kris ghosted her for about 30 days or so, and in Alabama where maybe Kris isn't actually, maybe she's out, but she's not comfortable in her small town southern home where she's from. So there's definitely something else going on there. There's definitely holes that's missing there. And then Sharon, you say in those countries, the situation is taboo. That's true too. You're right about that. And then jumping to Danielle and Johan. So like I said, Danielle's back to the DR to be with her man. Now, if Danielle knew that she was moving, right? Why is she moving also at the last minute? Did you see all that stuff that was in her apartment, her room or whatever? All that stuff was just everywhere. And she's like, oh, I have till 5 p.m. tomorrow to turn in the keys. I'm like, girl, you should have had your stuff wrapped up, stored, set aside and all this other stuff. As much as you was going back and forth and planning your life to the DR, you should have had this figured out and not had all that stuff piled up. Well, apparently she got it figured out. And then she, when she got to Dominican, she had 10 suitcases. Like I said, she could have left some of that stuff there. She knew she was coming back, right? So anyways, she's going to get mad at Johan because he didn't rent a big enough car. Well, you didn't tell him you had 10 suitcases. So maybe he could have made other arrangements, or maybe you could have made other arrangements at a rental car place over there since, you're the one supporting the relationship, right? So that's the part that I didn't get. But every time that she goes over to DR, whenever they're together, it always seems like there's miscommunication, arguments about little petty things. I just really don't see how this is going to progress going forward. Now, when they were in the car, when they finally got all the suitcases in and he had suitcases at the top, I'm thinking, Lord, is those suitcases wrapped up good around the thing? Because I only saw one like a little strap going across. He says, well, I'll just drive slow. I was like, does slow really mean like the suitcases aren't going to fall off if they're not tied down correctly? So anyways, I mean, just a little bickering back and forth. He had to tell her, he's the one with the package, the Johnsons between his legs. So she should obey him. Now, see, I think he kind of messed up a little bit with the obey word, that doesn't necessarily go well, whether you're a male or female, saying to somebody like, obey me, like we're property or something. But anyways, what Danielle said was, you know what, if you want to argue and, do this every day, pretty much she was saying, I'm your girl. I'm like, see, nobody want to hear this. Like that's already frustration from jump. And you want to talk about somebody else, in my opinion, who don't look like they're happy to see their partner. It would be Johan. I mean, he has a half smile on his face, but kind of like a distant smile, like, oh yeah, she's back. Listen, Johan just trying to get to New York, wherever Danielle's from, so he could leave the Dominican. I mean, come on, Danielle, we know this. Why don't you? Well, you know what? She does know, but she don't care. That's the difference. I got talking too fast. I got little things coming out everywhere. So y'all excuse me. All right. Jasmine Show says, who owns 10 suitcases? I am baffled and I'm a traveler. You know what? I was saying the same thing. I travel too. I have like 2 and 3s to carry on. So I don't know. She had to buy those. That's, there's just no way. I just don't understand why she didn't get stuff shipped over instead of paying all those international baggage fees. Can you imagine how much that costs? You know how much it costs for if your luggage weighs over a certain amount of pounds regular in the United States? So 10 international, that's her rent money in the DR, All right, Sharon, you say, I'm sick of Danielle. She's not smart either. Sharon, you're just going to be typing that the whole show, The Jasmine Show, you say, Danielle's talking about her friend wants to meet. Who calls their ex or friend to their husband? Danielle always has a friend that wants to meet in the DR. You know what I'm saying? Like, how are all these people visiting you in the DR all of a sudden? Or are these people that you just have known along the way? So I'm just saying. All right, so quickly to Nicole and Mahmoud. It's very frustrating, Nicole and Mahmoud. Go ahead, Sharon. Go ahead and copy and paste the comment now because I'm sick of Nicole too. But, I guess she conformed in a way to wear the burkini, but, the Jasmine Show showed me something. Someone had put up a picture of her being a swimsuit on the magazine now. But I mean, is she really doing this for Mahmoud? Is she really doing this to be like, okay, this is what he wants? He said he learned from his uncle that he should be softer with Nicole. He need to help her prayer because all this stuff is on him. So she took time out. She's like, oh, you have to wash your face? Like, get it all the way in there? He goes, yeah, you got to wash. She's like, oh, I didn't know. Again, this is not Nicole's first rodeo. What is she thinking? You have been over there before. You didn't like the customs and traditions before. So make it make sense, Nicole. Make it make sense as to why you just act like everything's just so brand new. Seriously, make it make sense. So anyway, they did the swimming thing. She did that. She prayed and all that stuff, but it showed like 5 hours earlier. She said that Mahmoud was acting strange off camera and like talking to her like a particular type of way, and she didn't like that. So what you say? Yeah. Let me read comments. Nicole's dumpster fire. Yes. Nicole's not smart either at all. You know what? I should have brought the red flags for this too. Well, I just say it from Married at First Sight. Just red flag everywhere. Yeah, it's too far away for me to get, but red flag. But still, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think he talks to her the same way on camera than off, because vice versa. Nicole doesn't have the best attitude, the best temperament either. She always has something to say. She's kind of like, even though she's not as sarcastic as Danielle, Nicole always has something to say. Just like Danielle and Johan, she always has something to say. There's always that little jab. Don't no man or anyone like little jabs at nothing. Nicole is constantly jab. Why? What you mean why, Nicole? Come on. You could really cause harm to yourself and to his family. And then with her pushing him, oh, now when he grabbed her wrist, oh, here we go. I thought he was like going to snatch her closer. Because just like he said, if she was an Egyptian woman, this wouldn't have went down. Because see, they believe in all kind of stuff that we don't over here in America. So Nicole is lucky she has the tourist vibe going on, or else it would have been lights out. And you know what I mean. So let me see. Jasmine, you say, I learned that she's 10 years older than him this episode. Yes, I mentioned that last week. Remember I said she's 19 years older. I have a little something as we go along with the show about her too. So hi, Dolores. How are you? Sharon. Yes. And Mahmoud was fed up. He's been fed up. He's just trying to, I know. Did he say he wanted to come to America, or he just likes the fact that he has an American wife, maybe to keep his options open? Because I haven't heard him say he wants to come to America. I don't think so, because he keeps saying in his confessionals that I'm Egyptian. I'm Egyptian. She's American. I'm Egyptian. So I believe that he's into his traditions, and that's all that matters to him. So anyways, let's see. And then Debbie and Osama. Debbie just seems like she's been bamboozled. I don't think Debbie was bamboozled. I just think, like I said in the beginning of the show, I think Debbie is chewing a little something, making some little something, or what. She is just a little too carefree for my taste. It's okay to live carefree, but carefree and logic kind of need to line up once you're past a particular age. You know what I'm saying? And that age for me would be 25 is generous, but definitely 30. And every year after 30, your logic needs to start lining up. But you just can't be like, oh, Osama, but Osama, you lied to me. You lied to me. Like, how can I trust you? You knew I was moving here to Morocco. What do you mean? What do you mean? We talked about this, Osama. Miss me with all that, Debbie. Miss me with that. I don't want to. I laughed it was a sarcastic laugh for me. It's like, she's serious. She's serious. But Osama is just as serious as he wants to be. He's like, no, I told you, Debbie. I told you. This is not social media. This is reality. Maybe we got things mixed up with our, with the culture, the misunderstanding. I'm thinking, no, it weren't no misunderstanding. Debbie heard what she didn't want to hear, and that is you didn't want her to come for a couple days. And she thinks that, she still thinks she could drink wine at the house, at your mama house, that maybe you weren't really telling the truth, not telling the truth. Maybe you weren't really serious about her, not coming for a lifetime. And, no one knows when your time is up, but, he's 24, she's 67. So her lifetime is her lifetime, but Mahmoud's lifetime is like right now. But anyway, she had a good time on that camel, and, I wouldn't have got him, but she had a good time. And she was like, I'm sorry for being so enthusiastic, but she's living her life as she should. She's retired, living her life. The point is, she's living her life with someone who is like quadruple younger than her. That's not ready for the same things in life that she is. He can say that he loves her with the poetry that they connect on and the art and all that other stuff, but that's it though. That's it. So anyways, let me read some comments. Mom's Patricia action. Anyway. The Debbie impression. Okay. Dolores, you say Debbie's aware of what she's doing. She wants to be carefree. Yeah, she is carefree, but she was just hoping that Osama was as carefree as her, but he hasn't even started living his life yet. So he's not carefree. He's just, doing whatever, So, and then finally, let's move to Gabe and Isabel. Let me drop the link too. So, I have, and that's being very lenient with the have, very flexible, high hopes with Gabe and Isabel, because her parents really seem to like him. They seem like they're getting along. He was in Colombia for a whole year where they met before he came back over. So, maybe they knew about him. Maybe they spoke on the phone. He knows the language enough to get by. And it just seemed like they all had like a decent connection, right? But when it came time with that translator app to talk about, I'm trans, but see what he said, he threw me off. He was trans for 10 years. I was like, what? 10 years? Okay, that's a long time. But I knew this was going to have us wait till the next episode, but they just ripped the Band-Aid off and just went from there. So, I think that the mom might be accepting, but it's the dad, but I think overall the family might be okay. But when Gabe was asking Isabel before that, is it going to be me or is it going to be the family? And she didn't know. And he was upset about that. I don't think you should make someone choose. You know what I'm saying? I don't think you should make them choose, because that to me would put a kink in your relationship anyways. Because if you two don't work out, then if you gave up your family, then what's left for her, right? So because your family is supportive, that doesn't mean everyone else's family is supportive. She's already with you, so she already made a choice to be in a relationship, but you can't ask somebody to give up their family. I don't think so. So, ma'am, are you ready backstage? Okay. Hello, Jess.
How's it going?
Good, good, good. I just want to get that overview out first. We can start with whoever you want to.
I don't even know who to start with. Gabe, I don't know. I couldn't read based on that preview how this was gonna go. I feel like the dad, he didn't have a negative reaction. He was just, I got questions. But I feel like anybody would have questions.
Right.
Especially because I don't think that where they live at that is something that's common.
I agree.
I'm guessing. I don't know this to be true, but I'm just guessing. So
yeah.
I think that I feel like his parents are like, I mean, her parents would see him for who he is and not be like, oh, well, you're this, like, because they've had the chance to gotten to know him.
Right.
So in some aspects, he's like, oh, I feel like I'm being deceitful, which I get, but I feel like it is kind of, he did it the best way that he could have done it, in my opinion. I do think it's a lot to drop on them to be like, oh yeah, I'm trans, but can I marry your daughter? Like, that's too much. That might need to be delayed a little bit.
Yeah. I agree with that too, but I also agree with just yank it off the Band-Aid, get it out the way, because they have been in a relationship for a whole entire year.
Yeah.
And so they're going to be if it was me, I would be looking at my daughter too, like, you didn't think you could tell me, but I understand like waiting for him to come back to tell me to say it together. So it's a double-edged sword with them, but 10 years. Wow. I don't think I realized that until he said it last night. Were you aware of that too, or no?
No, I didn't know how long it had been, but because the only pictures we saw were, I'm pretty sure when he was younger, like a kid. So
yeah.
I don't know. I refuse to look him up until the show has finished airing.
Right.
No spoilers.
Right. No spoilers.
So yeah, that was news to me, but I thought that it was but I know like the transition is a long transition, like before he even had the surgery. So it would make sense if it's been 10 years, because like we were saying before, like looking at him, we wouldn't even think about it. Like, okay, just a small guy.
Yep. Yep. So last night, like I said, they were just that little segment of the episode. So let's jump to the very top. What do you think about Jen being the first one to go home? Like, she really surprised me. I thought she would at least be there for like
I lost the bet. I kept saying it was going to be Debbie. What is happening? So I think I can't read Rishi anymore. Like, I just can't. I was like, maybe he's a stand-up guy and he just don't know, like he's trying to like figure his way out and how to go against his parents. But I'm starting to think it's something up. Like, I think I don't know if he's scheming, because I don't feel like she got money like that we've seen or anything. And also, like, she told him, oh yeah, we're not having sex until we get married, after they had hooked up when they first met. So he didn't seem to be too mad about that. So it can't just be about sex. So he must actually like her. But I don't think that he is faithful, in my opinion.
Yeah, he stopped giving me faithful vibes when her friend catfished him and he responded.
Yeah.
So because if you're monogamous,
you don't respond.
You don't respond.
Well, that response was okay, but the one we saw with the shirtless, that's not a response, sir. That's not a response for anybody. So it's suspicious to me. And the fact that his sister or whoever was asking, well, are you faithful, means that he's probably not. If you're friends and your sister has to ask you that, then you're probably not faithful.
Right. I agree. But wow. What do you think about her family when she came home?
I don't remember her mom saying anything direct like that, but her mom was like, yeah, I don't think he can be trusted. I'm like, interesting. I was thinking that the brother was going to be going in. He was silently going in. Like, he was going on a face journey, but he didn't have to say much because he said it before she left, to be honest.
Right. That's what I'm saying. He gave the I knew you'd be back look.
Yeah.
But the mother was supportive of her before she left.
Yeah.
And I do believe the mother is supportive of her now. I just think that she's just being a little bit more upfront about they're serious about their traditions. So
Yes.
you should make sure if you're going to go back over or you're going to be engaged to possibly get married, even though they're looking for an arranged marriage, you might want to think about it.
I appreciate the fact that the family is talking about the culture, which is what I've been saying. The issue here is that people be like, "Oh, I'm in love with this person that has a completely different culture," and they move there, and then everything is a culture shock, even though it's on the internet. You can research it, but the family keeps bringing it up, like, "Hey, this is cool. Y'all love each other, but how's it going to work with the culture thing?" Oh yeah, well, he's willing to move out of his parents' house. I'm like, you could say that, but when you move there and he got you an apartment and did not move in with you, that should have told you something.
Not just that, didn't move in with you. The family don't know about you. And then the night that before you're leaving, didn't even stay over with you.
That's weird.
He came to see you off.
He not moving out of his family house if he can't stay out for a night.
Right. So I was like, oh, okay. So, but next week's episode, her friend, or whenever we're going to see her friends again, with that picture, they're like, girl, we told you. I'm like, see, I wouldn't keep talking to them. I know they're your friends, but at the same time, they're shading you. So they didn't speak for a while because of your relationship with the men you had previously and now this relationship. So they're not giving me genuine friend vibes. They're just giving me like I told you so friends, and I don't know. They don't seem genuine to me. Like
I gotta play devil's advocate though, because I feel like, what if they have seen her and it's not like one or two relationships, it's 3 or 4 relationships they've seen her do this. Okay. Suppose like they've supported her through it. They was there wiping her tears when she was having the breakdown after the breakups, after moving somewhere. So I kind of get it, because after seeing your friend continue to making the same mistake for years and you're 40 years old, like, come on, like, I can see it being a lot on them too. So I'm not going to say like it's their fault, but I'm saying we got to play devil's advocate on that.
Okay. All right with that. All right. So let's move to Jeymi and Kris. Were you just as concerned that I was the way she was looking? Just in general? Like I said, it's not because she didn't have makeup on. Just the fact that Kris looked like she sick. She looked like there's something going on with her physically.
She does look sick, but she's always looked weird to me. And I don't know if she was just weird looking or if she has some other sort of illness that caused, I don't know what it is. She just looks like she doesn't have any color.
Right.
Like she looks very pale and very frail, if that makes sense. Like, so to me, it's very concerning. And I think that Jeymi needs to know the full extent of her health problems, because she already sprung a few things on her. So you don't know what else there could be.
That's true. So when Jeymi hadn't heard that whiplash thing, I was like, now see there. See.
That sounds like you got a patient.
It does. And you know what? She will always have to wear that to keep her neck stabilized since she needs surgery. Now, not to take it there, but remember what I said like 2 shows ago, like intimacy wise and just in general.
I know where you was going with it.
In general, just look left to right. Like if you have a crick in your neck, just regular.
Yeah.
It takes a while to get that crick out your neck. Now just think if you need surgery.
Yeah.
And just anything else you want, like kissing, I didn't, whatever they do, you know what I'm saying? But still, you got to move your face and your neck to do anything, to eat anything. So she needs to get that taken care of. Now, when they went to that glamping thing and they were walking up that mountainous hill, I'm like, oh my gosh, please don't fall, because you just barely got out the bed.
Oh God. That's why I was like, it threw me off when she was like, oh yeah, we're gonna go to the glamping spot today. I was like, it's only been 5 days.
Right.
How has it been 5 days? Do they not have any footage, so they like drew that out and made everybody else's storyline progress faster? Because something is up with it.
What could she do? She got the shot. I'm guessing some type of cortisone or whatever to make her back feel better. Nothing worked. So they probably had to wait and get some medicine flown in overnighted to her even feeling better. Because there was nothing that if the doctor gave you there that didn't touch your pain, nah.
But what I'm saying is like Jen was there for almost 30 days, right?
Yes.
Like everybody else has been in their country for an extended
Right.
period of time. How are we watching them all these weeks and it's been 5 days?
Well, they didn't have a storyline like you said. And then maybe when we see them get married, they're going to jump them forward, because this might be a small spoiler, or maybe I saw it. Kris is coming home.
I saw that.
So she's coming home. So maybe they're going to get married first and then she's going to come home. So I don't know. Maybe the storyline is going to expand after that. So
I mean, the preview I saw said it was like Jeymi was like screaming at Kris, like, you went home and I haven't heard from you in a month. I'm like, how? We get married and then don't hear from them in a month. That's crazy.
Because just like you mentioned in the comments, everyone else, there's something that, in my opinion, and I think yours too, there's something that we don't know about Kris. There's all kind of holes in her story. Something is missing. Other than a surgery, something else is going on with her, and there's no reason why, if you went over there to live your truth, you did all that to live your truth, why would you come back to ghost somebody? For what?
It don't make sense. And she disappeared before for the 30 days or whatever. Like, what was the reason she disappeared? I still need to know that.
Kris wants to know it too. I mean, Jeymi needs to know.
Was she in the psychiatric ward? Because I wouldn't be surprised.
Jeymi never got an answer, so I guess we'll be waiting.
How? I would not agree to marry somebody if I never found out why you ghosted me for a whole month.
Well, I think Jeymi's goal also is to eventually come over as well.
Really?
I think so. Yeah. Because remember the lady from Texas, so she likes women, international women from America. And since her family is not so open by the conversation,
that's true.
So maybe she wants to come over to live more peaceful. That's just my guess. What'd you say, Sharon? Right. Something else going on with her. For sure. So, all right. So let's move past them because they really didn't have a lot of things going on. So Miss Danielle, I mean, is it me? Or as I mentioned, are they always like bickering over like petty stuff? Like they haven't had like a nice day yet.
I just feel like she's super emasculating. And I don't understand why. I still don't think they should have got married. Like, I can't. They're draining to watch. Her always having a friend. Now, I will say, living in New York, people always be in DR randomly. So that part, I'm not surprised that she has all these friends that are visiting. But it's just a very suspicious. Like, I know when you said like she had the bankruptcy or something, she thinks she's the man. She definitely does. And that's why he said, I got the penis, which I thought was a stupid arguing point, but okay.
Danielle's always complaining. It's always, and I don't think it's a tit for tat kind of thing. It's just petty. Like something comes up that maybe she don't like or he don't like, and they're just always trying to prove their point. They just can't let things ride. Sometimes you got to let things ride. And she's, again, at a certain age where she should know this. Like everything isn't worth the attention of someone saying something that, you don't necessarily care for. But I just don't understand why she had so much stuff left in her apartment when as much back and forth as she was going. How come she didn't bring some stuff before and just like leave little,
leave it there? That's what she should have did.
Right, and then you lied and said you didn't tell me you had 10 suitcases, and you didn't give him an opportunity to get a bigger car. So that was the cause of the argument over the car, who's driving, his accents, this and that. I mean, how would he know to get something bigger if you didn't say you didn't have 10 suitcases that's sitting on top of the trunk?
What's in the suitcases?
Girl, all her life.
What is in the suitcases?
All her life. What'd you say? Excuse me.
He does have a grown son.
He's 22. He's 22 years old. He probably don't want to be shown on camera. I don't blame him.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, just always petty back and forth. So to your question, when you're in the comments, Jazz, I don't know who the friend is, but it's a guy. I don't know if it's her ex or what. So whenever we see him, we'll find out. But still, like we said, they're having that penis conversations. Like, that's really weird for your husband to have any conversation.
That's why I said. That's why I said it had to be an ex, because I feel like Johan, the only reason he's going to bring up his penis is because he's trying to tell you about yourself, one. Or two, he's trying to exert his manliness or his manhood. So,
yeah, I think he's always been trying to do that, though. I think he's always trying to remind her he's the man, not just the man, but the man in this relationship. And like you said, she's so emasculating. she's not allowing him to be. But she knew who he was, what his financial background is, and what they have and what they don't this whole time. So, that's just another one who is giving slightly on a different level Nicole vibes too, where you're pretending like, oh, you live in a family unit and I got to do this and you're the man, this and that. So to me, y'all may see it differently.
She at least moving somewhere where she knows the culture and at least kind of respects the culture.
That's
Nicole
true.
moving somewhere that's completely opposite culture from her and don't respect it and about to get everybody got out there.
Okay, exactly. So that's what we're going to segue right into. Let's go to Nicole. So what did you think about the swimsuit? Because I know that was your favorite.
The swimsuit was so fly. I just loved it so much. Okay.
The burkini. Now we know the name of it because I didn't know the name of it.
Burkini.
Wow. But what do we think about her finally learning to pray? Like, I'm surprised that she didn't do this, practice this already, like being at home. You converted, so that's part of the religion.
What has she, besides saying whatever she said to convert, like what has she done? It seemed like she hasn't done anything. She just did it like performative just so they could get married.
Exactly.
Because if you don't know how to pray, and like you don't have to be Muslim to know that prayer is the number one thing as a Muslim. Like, right. You don't know how to pray. How can you even say you're Muslim?
Exactly. And not just being Muslim, prayer is part of religion in general. Some people's religion just pray a little bit more often than others. Same thing, same principle. But let me pop up something I found on Twitter. And the reason why I'm popping this up is because I agreed exactly with this person's comment. So I'll put it up and also read it out loud as well. Someone says, she 100% should have researched his culture before agreeing to the change and convert. But he also tries to stop any sort of discussions or arguments by saying, I love you 900 times. I dislike both of them. They just aren't good for each other. It's okay. Being in love and being able to compromise and blend a life with someone are not the same thing. I would argue that in a lot of relationships, usually only one or the other person is present. It's really blank hard to find both. I agreed with that. I was like, that is on point right there. And he does. He tries to brush things under the rug by saying, oh, it's okay, honey, love. That's not solving the situation.
Some situations are not solvable, though. Nobody in a situation is actually willing to compromise. And the reason I say that is because she always says, oh, I'm always compromising. But the issue is her intention of compromising. Her intention is to make her husband stop talking about it. It's not to make her relationship work. Mm-hmm. I feel like she's using it as a one-up. Like, oh, I compromised on this. I did this for you. And now you're asking me to do something else. I'm like, that's what marriage is, dude. Like, what?
Right.
But you're literally like tit for tacking. You decided to move to Egypt. He should have married an Egyptian girl. I agree with that.
Yeah.
But y'all both decided to get married. Mm-hmm. Get a divorce and put us all out of our misery. Thank you.
Well, he said, you got 5 minutes to come in this Uber or we get into divorce. That's what he said. Again, if she had been someone making that scene, like he said, an Egyptian woman, I know exactly, so do you, and I'm sure the chat does too, exactly what he was talking about. They do not play that out there. They believe in the honor thing. We won't say the rest. Yeah. And, that's very... Nicole really got off by the what they say by the skin of her teeth with that. That was
I thought he was gonna smack her. I straight up did. Mm-hmm. I really thought he was going to. One, because he just seems like a soft person to me. Like, but I think that he was embarrassed. He was fully embarrassed that she swung on him in broad daylight in public.
Right.
So all the other men was like, if you don't do it, I'll do it for you. That's probably what they was like.
Right. Exactly. And that's when his traditions kicked in. I mean, not just by grabbing her, so we'll take that out, but just by him saying, you don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's not what we do here. You saw it in his face. He became stone-faced like, no, so. And whether Nicole knew that or not, she knows it now.
You're not supposed to do that anywhere. That's the thing.
I know.
But there's consequences to that. Like, you can't just swing on a man. Like, that's just not gonna happen.
Right. So it happened to be Nicole's birthday on Tuesday or Wednesday of this past week. And here's something for us to see. They were both on IG talking to each other. So here we go. Hold on, let me bring it up. My bad, you guys. Oh, wrong one. Sorry. Here we go. Says, you are the best thing that ever happened to me. I love you more than anything. This is from Mahmoud. With age, some people tend to lose their charm, but you become charming, wiser, and more fun to spend time with. You are a beautiful soul, and I'm glad to make me a part of your life on this earth. I wish you a very happy birthday and hope that more fun and joy comes to your life. And Nicole says, now I know for sure my husband is the sweetest guy in the whole planet. I love you more than anything, Mr. Mahmoud.
That's giving we separated, but we nice.
We separated, but the show's still on, so we can't say.
Yeah. But can we talk about her hair? She just need to get rid of the blonde. That looked much better. She looked like a whole different person right there.
She did look like a whole different person.
It's much better. I can't with the blonde. Yeah, no.
Yeah, well, because the blonde makes her look like a robot. That's, gives that what's that one movie that Megan gives that Megan Megan vibes. But they were wishing her a happy birthday. She turned 40. On the show, I rewatched it. It said 38 and 30. So that means this show was taped a year ago. So she turned 40 on Tuesday or Wednesday. Again, old enough to know better, old enough to know the traditions because it's not your first rodeo. You've been there, back, and everything else. So we'll see if she really does stay another week or two or she's on her way home next week. What do we think? Do we think they're going to work it out? Or not?
I think that she went home.
You think so? They are
delusional.
That's right. So yeah, I've had it. She's stressful to watch. It right?
She is.
Yeah, it's like raise your blood pressure. It's not even our relationship. It's like, oh my gosh, what's he gonna do next? All right. So last couple, Debbie and Osama.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot about something. When he asked could he take his shirt off at the pool.
Oh,
Can I take it off? Do you mind? I'm like, oh, so you could get naked, but I can't. That's what she was thinking. I was thinking it too, though. I'm gonna say that. I'm like, oh, so the men just have no shirt on?
Well, the men could do what they want.
Interesting.
So, you better not be looking at it. If you're somebody else's wife, you better keep your eyes on your own prize. That's what you better do.
Well, you can't see nothing but this anyway. So
right. Did you see the one couple sitting off to the side at first?
They were side-eyeing hard.
Oh, yeah.
They had their eyes blurred out, but we could still tell that they were side-eyeing.
Right. Still tell they were side-eyeing. Exactly. All right. So Debbie and Osama. I mean, like I said, Debbie, she's a flower child. She had never grown out of that. That's Miss Debbie all day. I wish I had a fan. I have a fan, but it says Las Vegas, so that don't work. I'm gonna have to go to like a thrift store and find me a good fan to mess with Debbie. But I appreciate something about Osama. I appreciate the fact that he's reminding Debbie to live in reality. Reminding Debbie that, yeah, we talked on social media, but we still have to get to know each other. And getting to know each other didn't mean that you should have uprooted your entire life to move here with me because, what if stuff don't work out? And I just, I think that Debbie, because she wants to be in love, Debbie gives me she's in love with whoever she would ever be in a relationship with. That she's got so many stars, butterflies, unicorns, sprinkles in her eyes that she can't see past Osama because he's younger. He gives her the attention. They got so much in common, and just like he would never lie to her. And then she was just so bamboozled, so upset from the night before that she wants to know, why, Osama? Why you lied to me? I'm like, girl, please knock it off. Knock it off. I don't get it, but I do like her hair though. She got a good, nice hair on her head.
Oh my gosh. I want to flame him so bad. And I just
what?
How can you trust a man that can't look you in the eyes? Because his eyes is crossed. He can't look you in the eyes. Stop it.
He can't help it. He don't have a solid bite either, but we're not talking about what he can and can't eat.
This man is not it. I don't care what poem he wrote. I don't care about none of that. This is so cringeworthy.
Mm-hmm.
And I know she smells weird. I'm just saying. I'm gonna say it. She smelled like a lot of things. Sorry. You know how you look at somebody, you be like,
you know what?
Feel like you don't wash your hair every day.
You know what? The word I've heard before along the way is like maybe smell has a, not talking about anyone in particular, but since you brought it up, like a seasoned salt.
Seasoned salt.
Moving on. So what do we think about Debbie sitting on that camel? You know, she was too happy to be on that camel, right? She's like, oh, he's so skinny, but I'm like, hold on anyways. I'm like, okay, Debbie. Like I said, I appreciate her enthusiasm. I really do. But
I love the zest for life. I appreciate that. I just think that this relationship shouldn't exist. But I think that it is great to like just live in the moment, and that's just seems like what she's done. But she need to make better decisions though, in general, as far as relationships. Well, but have fun. Like, why can't he just be a fling? That's all I'm saying. Y'all not having sex. Y'all in Morocco, so
that's exactly. Yes and yes. I agree. How come he just can't be a thing? And I just think that she's living too carelessly because she put all her eggs in one basket with someone who's 24 years old. I would have said the same thing if anybody was under the age of 40, personally. It just falls under like, well, okay, I heard it somewhere. It's like, it's no longer a cougar, it's a leopard. You know what I'm saying? She's a leopard.
She's past the cougar stage. I'm not seeing it. It's like I feel like I'm missing stuff or something. Like, same thing with Jeymi and Kris. I feel like we're missing major parts of this relationship. It just don't seem. It seemed like literally TLC said, "Here's $5,000. Please be a fake couple for us." Like, that's what it's giving me. Like, these don't seem like real relationships.
I don't think Debbie would have fell for that. Here's the fake relationship because she's just too.
You know who was realist? Who actually made sense to me? What was the lady? It was an older blonde lady, and she had Aladdin.
Okay.
You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, blonde hair. She was from Florida. I don't remember.
That was basically kind of similar to this, but not as extreme. But they actually seemed like they were a couple.
Right. So, but she was like 50 and he was like
30.
Yeah, it's not a 40-year age gap. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference. But I like the fact that Osama seems like he's got a decent head on his shoulders.
For 20, yeah.
For 20, for a 24-year-old, he's got a decent head on his shoulders. And it doesn't seem like right now he has led her astray. I just think it's just something that her heart desires to go where she feels love is. That's how it's coming across right now. Now, how the episodes progresses will be something different.
So you think that he has been transparent with her the entire time, and everything else, like her moving there and getting married and all that stuff, is in her head?
I think because the things that we've heard him say on these episodes where we've met him, his story hasn't changed. And he said the story in the same tone. He hasn't tried to put other stuff in it. So I think that was pretty steady about what he was saying. Now, however they was talking, maybe they pillow talked a night or two, and maybe he may have said something more of like, I love you, can't wait to lay next to you, something like that in there. But as far as her living there and being there long term, oh yeah, I think he told her that from the beginning. I do, because he has not switched that up. He hasn't even given any thoughts to switching it. I mean, not any thoughts, any suggestion to switch that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like he's saying, oh yeah, I told you XYZ. He said, no, social media is not real. When he said that to me, I'm like, oh, okay. So he was telling her the truth for the most part.
Yeah.
But the happily ever after part, I think that's where things are misconstrued.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that she would give up her entire life for someone who wasn't into the happily ever after, because that's what she wants, versus he just seems like, he writes skateboards, he writes poetry, he's on social media. That's it. You know what I'm saying? To me. So I don't know. But like I said, we need to see, she just got there herself. So we need to see the living arrangements. We haven't got to that yet. When we see the living arrangements and how that dynamic works out, I think we'll see a little bit more how the relationship eventually is going to fail, because seeing the commercial is going to fail because she calls him a liar. He lied to me. Well, he's lied to you since you got there. So let you tell it, right? But it's going to be even more so. She's going to say, you're not a man. You lied to me. So,
he's not a man. He a boy. We do that.
Well, why are you saying it, Debbie? You knew that before you got there.
Yeah, like what?
So,
Thank you, Captain Obvious.
yeah, so that was it. But like I said, next week I hope that we start off with Gabe and that family. I want to hear the reaction. I don't want to hear the reaction the last 5 minutes of the show.
No.
Let's not drag this out to the very end. Let's hear the reaction then. Honestly, let's see Nicole get on that plane and head on back. Let's go ahead and see that go over, and then everybody else can play out the way they need to play out. Because, I mean, it's giving what it's giving. It's just surface level. So maybe we'll see that wedding too next week too, and then see Jeymi go home. Because I believe that. So now, well, who's gonna? Okay, so Nicole seems like she's going home next week. But do you think now Jeymi is going to beat her home now that Jen is left? So who's next?
I think I'm all over the place. I'm a dub because I thought Debbie was going home first. I don't even know who now. They leave on the same day.
They could. So I'm gonna go with I don't know. I'm gonna go with Nicole this time, going home next. So all right. So I found something else, and it's gonna be who your 90 Day the Other Way star is your soulmate based on the chart for their birth month. Now we're gonna have to switch January to March since we know Nicole's birthday was just a couple days ago. So she's in January. So we'll have to reverse the two. So we'll see who you got. Here we go. So Kris and Jeymi need to switch. So Kris would be January and Nicole will be March. So I'm September. So I'm Isabel.
Oh God, I'm January.
Oh, so you would be Kris.
Oh no.
Yeah, I disagree. You disagree? I disagree too. April. Okay, so Kris will be January. February is Jen. March would be Nicole. April is Debbie. Osama is May. Look at this. There you go. Look at May.
Listen, I'm not even gonna say nothing. You see it.
June is Danielle. July is Rishi. Johan is August. Isabel September. Jeymi's October. Gabe is November. And Mahmoud is December. So there we go. So you can think of birthdays, anniversaries, see where you match up.
Oh
God. This is your season's person right here. And this goes for everybody in the chat too.
Lord have mercy.
I mean, is anybody on here really a good pick? Like, what day is the best pick?
Gabe.
You just think it's Gabe? Sharon gives the googly eyes. What are you, Sharon? Which one are you and anybody else in the chat? Which one are you? I'm September. I'm Isabel. So
Vince said he's Gabe.
He's Gabe?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if Millennial was here watching, she's April because her birthday's April, so she's Debbie.
Lord.
So, yeah. Well, at least I'm not, what's her name? Jen. I wouldn't want to be Jen, Danielle, Johan. Rishi.
I like Johan, actually. I'm sorry. I like him.
Sharon, you say December, so you're Mahmoud? Yeah, I would have kept that one, Sharon. So I thought that was cute to bring up. I saw that too when I saw that post about the birthday thing. So yeah. So that was it. So that's it at the end of the show. So did anybody have anything else to add about the show that you want to talk about? Or
I did have a question. I saw a preview for another show. I don't know what 90 Day it was, but it had Valentine and Carlos and somebody else. Did you see it?
Yes, that's 90 Day Love in Paradise is coming back. So Valentine is coming back, and you know who else is going to be on that show? So I'm definitely reviewing that show. Anybody in the chat know who's coming on the show? I was like, how does she get on the show?
Hold on, who is it? Now
I'm gonna tell you, it is Pedro's mother, Lydia.
Good night. Vince is excited now.
Yes, Lydia's gonna be on the show with her American boyfriend. So
oh my God, charlatan!
Yes, charlatan. Yes.
If that ain't the pot calling the kettle black,
right? Exactly. You would think it would have been Nicole with a new boyfriend, right? His sister.
Right.
but it's Lydia of
What?
all people gonna
I
be on
gotta
this
go
show.
back and look at that preview again now.
She may not actually be on the preview. I read the lineup of who was gonna be on
Okay,
there.
okay.
Yeah. So
That's wild.
So Sharon says, "Oh no!" So when it comes out, I'm definitely reviewing that show just for Lydia because I want to see, since Pedro is now divorced with Chantel, and shout out to the Jasmine Show who reviews the family Chantel if it ever comes back on. But see if Pedro is going to be, on the show now that he's not with her anymore, since he's moved away from the family. So that's going to be a dynamic. And his sister, to me, she always had a little bit of an attitude, in my opinion.
She do have a nasty attitude.
So we'll see how she's dealing with her mother dating as well. So Love in Paradise, when it comes out, I will be reviewing it. And I will, and also too, before we go, someone tell me, and I'm not throwing shade because listen, I wear wigs. I have to, my hair's growing back from my treatment, stuff like that. But why is Valentine's hair lined up the way that it is? Like, what is going on?
It's fake. It's one of those demand wigs. And
okay. Okay.
And then they cut it. Yeah. I was
like, why is this hair?
You see how thick it was right there? I'm like, yeah, that's a wig. I watched the videos. It's a man wig.
Listen, I don't front on nobody. I was just curious, like, why his hair was lined up like that. But anyways, yes, when it comes back on, I will be watching it. So interesting, huh?
But it's what's her name gonna be on there? Gabby and whatever then Gabby and Abby.
It's going to be I saw the lineup. So Valentine and his soon to be husband, if they're still, their storyline plays out. Lydia and her man, Danielle and Johan are coming back.
I'm just trying to get on the show in any way possible.
I know. Those three are definite that I saw. Now, anybody else, I don't remember, but those are the three that I definitely read.
Wow. Okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So look for it. We'll be on here talking about it.
I am looking for it.
Yeah. So Danielle and Johan. So I'm not sure if anybody else from this season of 90 Day the Other Way is going to make it. If anyone makes it, it would be Gabe and Isabel. But those are the ones who I saw on that already. So, All right. Well, if that was it, then I will see everybody on Thursday for Married at First Sight. What was the comment? Sharon, what'd you say? Do you watch the other show, the new show about the women? You know what? I watched it, the Seeking Brother Husband. I'm not going to review it.
It's too much.
It's too much. It's just the opposite of like the Sister Wives and that thing. It's too much. And it's that a little bit comes off fake. And they have another show also called You, Me, and My Ex. I'm like, TLC is doing a lot. I can't be doing all that stuff. I'll stick with the 90 days. That's, a guarantee that's going to roll on to the next franchise. There's these random shows that they're putting out for views. So
some of those random shows be kind of good though. I watched Addicted to Marriage. Very entertaining.
Oh, okay.
But it came out like I think last year or the year before. It was good though.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So no, Sharon, I'm not going to be reviewing it. So sorry about that. Are you going to review it, the Jasmine Show? No?
I can't get Vince to watch none of that stuff.
Oh. Okay. So, well, thank you everybody for joining. We'll be back Thursday for Married at First Sight. Hopefully it's a good episode for that show. We'll see. And I'll see everybody then. Thank you again for joining and good night. Take care. Thank you, Jazz, for joining.
Thanks.
And everyone in the chat. Good night, everybody.